old school chicks.
Right, let's just get
702 in the base.
Facebook on.
Black Eyed Peas. That's SWV.
Black Panther. Alright, Jesus. Fucking hell,
on the
man.
bottom right. Oh, excuse.
Black Panther. Is it a hype?
Come on, Darren, man. You're slow, man.
Because I'm just these slow jams. What they all got in common?
Shit.
Slow jams.
Come on. No, go on like you're not an 80s baby, man.
I'm an 80s baby, definitely.
So when you see a picture of SWV, know who it is, innit?
Because I'll get back.
Right, I think we are almost live.
It's a banger, blood.
That's Jade's doing.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man. Man's live everywhere as well, you know. Yeah, you fucked up. It's okay though, man.
It's still a banger, though.
Yeah. Sure, Jade agreed.
So you said we're live on Insta, yeah?
I believe we're live on Insta, live on Facebook.
I don't believe we are live on Insta.
No,
It's going to be distracting.
I think we're live on Insta.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're live on Insta.
Okay.
So that's your phone.
I don't know why I'm looking from the Chronos, man. Okay. That's why.
Right. Just getting set. Let me see.
it's a mad thing.
Yeah, on it.
Apart from Craig.
What's that on?
Insta.
Yeah, it's cool. Man, the thing. Alright, just trying to forward. Alright, cool. Listen, let's try and get this thing going because we're gonna be heading out. Yeah.
Apologies, guys. Apologies, boy.
Doesn't have to be a long one.
The weather's been a mad thing.
Yeah, for real. That's what we're gonna.
Feel free to lock whenever you
That's what we're gonna blame, innit? The weather.
after the show.
Alright, cool. Listen, let's kind of get things started. Riggs, cheer up, man! Jesus Christ!
I'm nice, man. I'm nice.
You got your court suit on and everything. Just fucking hell. Alright, cool. Listen. Hey, grown ass been in the building. Make some noise. Alright, that's it, man. Crack a smile at least, innit? Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Right, before we obviously get started, let's kind of introduce who we got in style. I don't know.
Oh shit.
Like,
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Man just thought he'd watch himself anyway.
No, sorry, because it's the
Man's got
comments.
himself live,
It's the
yo.
comments. It's the comments. It's the comments.
It's like that, yeah? Alright, cool. Let's introduce who we got inside so we can get started. Starting from my far right. That's you, Dwayne, because I know.
Yeah, it's the Pan-African, a.k.a. Dwayne.
Wakanda something, you know. Yeah, what's going on, people? Rakes here. What's good?
It is T'Challa. No, I'm joking. It's Darren.
I'm like, I don't even know what he said, like, to be fair.
It's good.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and obviously you got myself, the host Craig. So let's kind of get the show started. What we're talking about today is not just the film Black Panther. Is it just a hype? Because personally, I think anyway, is it just a hype? But has it opened the doors for us as a community, as black people? Is it this life-changing thing as people are making out? So
No, it is.
oh, Dwayne, no.
No, I don't think it is. I feel that a lot of people are on the bandwagon. They don't know what they're watching. You got many.
Hold on a minute. How can you tell people they don't know what they're watching?
Because I've heard people talk. A lot of people thought it was Black Panther movement. Yeah, they don't know what they're watching. They just go in because it's a hype.
You need to change your friends.
There can't be too many people.
I'm
thinking
being.
this
I've
thing,
come
yeah.
across
I don't
two
believe that.
on my life. I've come across two.
That thought evil.
That thought it was Black Panther movement.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
That's some dumb shit, though.
I'm pretty certain there are people out there.
No offense if that's your family, but
I'm pretty certain there are people out there that actually think Wakanda is a real place. Like the people they're not really understanding what they're going to see. I think if they've seen everybody's got a black cast and they're just running with it. Don't get me wrong, I do feel that there are positives to take from the film, but I do believe at the same time people are expecting too much from it.
Okay, so I think maybe the question that I need to put out there to you guys, I want to declare as well, I haven't seen it. Yeah? Oh, big shot. Yes, I am still black. Last time I checked.
you need to sort your life out.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
You do.
I just haven't got round to seeing it.
Nah,
just
it's-
like if I didn't see Iron Man,
you're taking too long.
no, if I didn't see Iron Man, you wouldn't be telling me that I've got to change my life.
But it's not saying you need to sort your life out.
So what I want to find out.
By the time you go there, you're gonna be the only black guy in the cinema. Like,
So what?
I'm just saying, like,
So what?
I just feel like
I want space. So what? Yeah. So what I need to ask them is what did the film mean to you, Riggs?
For me, it was encouraging. It was refreshing seeing a strong black cast, not a cast of just like bare unknowns. It was a strong cast, but not only that, it was the perception that they had in the film. It wasn't negative. It wasn't your typical stereotypes that we see on a lot of TV, where it's just all negative black characters. It was I don't know, like I say, it was just refreshing to see that.
What did the film? First of all, was it a good film?
Okay.
Ignore the fact of the black cast and what it can do. Was it a good film?
Good question, because I was praying, that it was going to be a good film, because obviously the hype. But yeah, it's a very good film, and it doesn't let down the Marvel brand in any. I'm a big like comic superhero fan, and yeah, Marvel's big, and I was just hoping, please don't let it be some whack film, and it's just never going to see the light of day again.
Yeah.
It's a very good film. It doesn't let down the Marvel brand at all. If it wasn't like a full black cast, people wouldn't have any qualms about it being a Marvel film. You know what I mean? What it meant for me, a lot of what Rick said is spot on. Just the way that it was portrayed, and you know what it was? It was unapologetically black. There's a lot of the narrative in there, and they make reference to kind of like stereotypes, where they're basically saying, look, we don't care about this. This is a black film. You know what I mean? And it's just unapologetic, and I love that. And I took my son to see it. My son came out and he hasn't stopped talking about it. And I like the fact that he's able to see a superhero that actually looks like him. You know what I mean? That he can buy it. Yeah. That he can buy into. So, bruv, like within 3-4 days, like I got him the costume like straight after the film. He was that on it. You know what I mean? So it's just good for our younger generation to be able to see the superheroes like them, that they can
have someone they can relate
pretend to want to be. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, and I definitely get that. I haven't seen the film. Shout out to Carleen who's watching as well. She says she hasn't seen it either. Listen, we'll hook up or something. It will just be us, literally. So Dion as well. She's actually said, shout out to Dion as well, who's been commenting, and I see that she switched from the YouTube to Facebook. I don't know how each of them are playing at the moment. Let us know, but we really do appreciate the comments. She said, why would it be a hype that's any different to a Harry Potter, stroke Marvel, or any type of film?
The reason why it would be a different kind of hype is because it's an all black cast, and that's a rarity.
I think that, to be honest, I think her saying that was more in response to when I asked the question.
Okay.
So I think she's trying to say it's no different to the hype of the thing. But I think
It
it is.
shouldn't be, but it
100% is. And like, we've got people walking around like this. I don't know why, but they do this to each other now. I'm used to the spudding thing, or just saying like, so someone done it, I done it back. I was like, cool. I must be in. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm sure it will all start to make sense. But my thing is, I think that the film is such a good thing. I think in terms of the kids factor that you're saying, because even subconsciously,
That's the best bit for me.
Yeah, subconsciously getting those things in is what they've got that picture to aspire to be. I know. Listen, I'm not trying to say there's gonna be Black Panthers running around, but you understand what I mean in terms of a superhero. We are representing
something positive for
But
them to relate
what
to.
about? Let me just ask this question though. What about my guy Wesley Snipes? Must be pissed right now. Blade and them man there. And
They're
Storm.
not really a superhero though. He's not mainstream superhero.
Storm was an ex-girl, ex-man.
It's not
She's a
because
side though.
no.
What I've heard a lot of people say that about Blade. The difference is Blade wasn't an all black cast. Yeah, Blade was the first super.
No, but he's talking about as children looking up to being. I get that, but you understand, Blade isn't a. He's not out there. He's just a. It's a small.
he's a side. You can say he's a side man.
The one thing I do like about it is that Africa is being presented in a positive light.
Can I just address that?
Only poverty.
I was hoping, because when I went to watch it, I was hoping to see more than what I saw.
Okay.
Because it didn't really show you much. Whilst it was positive what they were displaying, it didn't show you much of Africa.
Because it wasn't filmed in
Yeah,
Africa.
right. So
It
this
was filmed
one
in Atlanta.
So this my thing was I would have liked to have gone into it. I was expecting to see like, do you know what I mean? So when I went in there, I was like, oh, okay. But I would have liked them to actually shown Africa as it was. Just
like they created this country Wakanda and whatever, and
He's just going to tell you the storyline now.
I know. I'm just thinking.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is they made that look positive, but what they should have done is when they came out of there and went and looked at Africa as a whole, they should have still shown the other countries that are
So are you not asking for too much now?
Exactly.
No, I said my expectation. I had an expectation.
There's nothing wrong with just giving an insight into what else Africa can offer you, rather than making it like this secret world is just something that we can create in a film, and it's not really a possibility.
I get it, but the thing about it is, what they're doing is showing that there are places in Africa that are of like supreme wealth. Do you know what I mean? Even though Wakanda is a fictional place, the whole premise behind it is Wakanda
can exist
is in Africa, and Africa just isn't babies with
and I suppose kids don't understand that Wakanda don't exist.
Do you know what I mean? And the thing about it is when you like the visuals are really like it's real.
They're strong. They're strong images.
Yeah, it's. I came out there thinking, I'm like, we are kings and queens. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
For me, I don't know. I think I didn't necessarily want to talk about the actual film itself. For me, I personally wanted to talk in this discussion. I personally want to talk about kind of what it means to black people, and also the fact that it's not just black people watching this, bro. It's
well,
not
listen,
just black
that was
people.
if I'm going to be honest, that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Should people in general be as excited as it's quite blatant that the black community is? Should white people be as excited about the film?
No,
why would you say you don't expect them to?
Because I'm not gonna get. To be honest, like if they had a film with an all gay cast, I'm not gonna get excited for the gay guys.
Are you just comparing? Hold on a minute. You comparing the black race to gay people?
No, what I'm simply saying is that you're saying they should be excited with us. Why? What for?
Because it's a film. It's a Marvel film. And this is my thing. I get gas about Avengers and all of the things there.
So I'm saying,
shouldn't you just...
So you're talking about the film, but you're not forgetting the black cast now. So you're talking about...
I'm just talking about the film.
Should anyone else be excited to watch it?
Yeah, this is Marvel, so you expect to get some excitement from it.
Because it is a good film. But I can't get as excited.
But let's not skirt away from it, because, and I think it's a very good question, should other races be excited to see an all black cast?
Well, why should they?
Because it means for humanity, it's a great thing, no? It's a great thing.
I'm obviously.
I think they should, and the reason why I say that, it's almost like if you saw, I don't know, let's just say I'm trying to think of a story. I don't know, Scarface movie or something shown. It's a really bad example, but shown by it was an all kid cast, for example, all child cast. You know what I'm saying, of some quality. It's a really bad example. But you should be as excited to see it.
That's slightly different.
Why?
So I'll be excited that you're seeing kids work to that degree. That's why I'll be excited. But this is simply being celebrating because it's an all black cast. I expect black people to be excited by that. But I wouldn't expect anybody else to be. Like I said with the gay example. If there was a gay cast, I'm not being excited by that.
Listen, shout out to Layla as well. She said, look, and I hope you don't mind Layla. Layla is a white girl. She said, look, I wanted to go last night for my birthday, but it was too snowy, so we went to the Chinese at the bottom of our road. Yeah, shout out to Layla. Like, see, Andrew just said, look, no, why should they? In terms of...
They shouldn't, no.
You know what? I think the visual of something different should be exciting. Do you understand? As long as it's not offensive. If it's offensive, and that's what you're suggesting, then I can understand why they wouldn't be excited.
It's not.
It's not. No, I'm saying, but you're saying that they shouldn't be excited. I'm saying, yeah, they should be excited. It's like you said, it's a Marvel film, it's an all black cast. If it was, I don't know, a more...
I don't understand why they should be excited by a black cast.
What would they be excited about? The fact that black people are
they can be intrigued by an all black cast. I can't imagine anyone being excited.
Maybe excited is a bit strong. Excited is a bit strong.
No, that's fair play.
Excited is a bit strong, but I still think they should obviously welcome them and
welcome it. That's different.
And should want
and
to
I
see
think it has been welcomed.
Yeah, it definitely has.
Well, There have been
a few.
There's been some things, yeah. Even sometimes some of the sideways comments, like I read something the other day, like, oh, it's good to I think it was a white person who made the comment, like, oh, it's good to see that black people can really come together and make a good film. Who the fuck said we couldn't before? Do you understand what I mean? Things like, and that wasn't intentional.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? It's just them little ignorance.
Yeah.
But you get pockets of people out there. You see the people going around with mash up faces and sending them to I just watched Black Panther and somebody done this to me, and then people find out the picture was used like 6-7 years ago from something else. So there are pockets of people that are going to do stupid shit like that.
But the numbers speak for
themselves.
So, and it's not just
numbers,
black people.
With the numbers like that, it again it shows how powerful
The black
pound, the black dollar actually is.
Yeah.
But why can't they unite in a different fashion?
Very
How much
true.
money you're prepared to put there, bro? Do you know, come together and do something.
It's real.
Yeah.
Let me read out a couple of comments. Ndidi, I hope I've said your name right. Wakanda is about a futuristic Africa and what can be realised. It shows Africa before the intrusion. Does it? Is that what it was made to
When you break it down, yeah.
Alright. Shout out to Charlene. She said, if you love Marvel, you should be excited, regardless of what race you are. Black people have hyped so much, I wouldn't be surprised if other races are slightly less excited because of the noise we're making. It's almost like we're saying it's not for them. That is interesting. Right, and the reason why I say that is because everyone was talking about, going to see this thing and dressing up and doing all this thing and representing, blah, blah, blah. And that's fantastic. Should we as a black community be conscious
Of what?
of people's reactions to our reactions?
No.
No.
100% no.
What's the chance? I'm even considering you.
The thing about it is, it's just like this women's movement that's happening now. Like, you get a lot of men who are offended by it. Do you know what I mean? But women coming up doesn't necessarily mean that it's a negative on you. Do you know what I mean? Us having something for ourselves doesn't necessarily mean it's a negative on you. We are celebrating that this is
Progress of some form.
Progress, exactly. It's a huge film. It's gone on to be breaking all kind of box office records. It's a moment.
Apparently
there's
it's
no
broke the I think the Avengers record for Marvel as well,
Yeah.
for that opening.
It's the highest grossing Marvel film for the first 2 weeks. That much anyway. But no, I don't think it should. And I think if anybody who kind of finds it offensive or finds, that's down to you as an individual. You got to look at yourself.
Yeah, that's insecurities within someone who actually feels that way about how we celebrate a film.
But you got to think about it. Like,
next big question.
yeah,
Go on.
for white people, they have never seen something like this because they get up every single day, or white people will say, every single day, turn on the TV and see
Themselves.
a representation of themselves.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It's
standard
it's second
procedure.
nature. It's not even, they don't even think about it. So then when you see all black cast, it's like, I remember I saw an interview, I can't remember, it was on BBC One, I can't remember thinking, and they was interviewing that Daniel, the guy from
Main
the
character.
show, not the main character, one of them anyway. And
The Get Out dude.
yeah,
Yeah,
Oh,
seen it.
and the guy, yeah,
It's really bad that none of us know his name. How about
I'm not
There's
Daniel.
Daniel K.
Anyway, guys, somewhere else. The interviewer was like, "Oh yeah, it's an overwhelmingly black cast," and I was just thinking, he didn't even realise what he said.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I say this. Those.
Yeah, I think they got in trouble for that. Is it? Yeah, just that word overwhelming.
Yeah, it's a horrible word.
They got in trouble.
It is 100%. Let me read out some comments. Shout out to Angie. She said, "No, we should not. When Star Wars or Star Trek or Harry Potter comes out and people get excited and dress up, no one says anything." 100%. Good point. Right, Angie said, Dion, they got a little discussion thing going on in the YouTube. I don't mind that. Let me just try and jump in. Dion, I think the fact that it's an all black cast makes it more than just a Marvel film. Yes.
Yeah, it
yes.
is.
I get that. I think it's I don't want to say it's making a statement like it was just done for that purpose. But it's I think you said progress before. I think it's a massive step.
Because now, all right, if you're a black actor, black actress, you're thinking, "Raw, like I can make it in this game. I can make it in Hollywood." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
But is it moving forward? Is it going to open doors, or is it just for this? Is it just for this franchise?
Right. So this is the
It's all well and good. It's all well and good. These same guys get another part in Panther 2, but outside of that, are the doors opening? I doubt it very much.
No, I think
I think
I
surely.
think it has to.
Why can't you have a bit of hope? Like, Jesus Christ.
It's not about hope. I'm just being real. I'm not saying they're not going to get any work. I don't expect now to see a flood of black actors coming through. I don't expect to see that.
That's progress.
No one's not saying a flood of black actors, but like, for instance, Ryan Coogler's stock has risen now. Like, that's his third big film that he's had. Do you know what I mean? He is now, without a doubt, a Hollywood.
Yeah. For him, it will definitely do something.
Yeah. So then he can then
Or bring them through.
bring in people that he knows who are young aspiring directors or young aspiring actors.
How often do we see that?
Bro, you say, sorry, 1 second, Mark. Sorry, you say how often do we see that? But he is the reason. He is part of the reason why Michael B. Jordan is so good, so big. Because in all of his films,
he brings them along.
They're already doing a Creed 2, innit?
Yeah, I've seen.
Sorry,
my hope is that, you know,
I like him.
that those kind of roles, those kind of positive roles can kind of be seen as something like where they say when they're doing another film, they can say, yeah, rather than that normal stereotype of a black guy, we can do something a bit more positive. Oh yeah, there's the actor that did.
And you think that's going to actually happen?
I can only hope in it. Like if I had your mentality, I'd be depressed, man.
Yeah.
I don't see it happening.
Let me just read out a comment.
Even if it's just black directors to
right. It will just be that.
and it has to start somewhere.
Yeah, Dion has said, I think this is in response to the black community. It's more than a Marvel film, more than a Marvel film. But saying that other people can't be excited about it is what my issue is. People get excited about a wizards to us. Why can't they be excited by this? And
I don't think no one's saying they can't be excited. We're saying we don't expect them to be excited because it's a black cast.
Yeah.
I expect them to be excited simply because it's a Marvel film.
Yeah.
Got you. What I kind of agree with Dwayne, she's put in shock in brackets, I had to make sure I read that. Coming to America was an all-black cast in the 80s, and there wasn't really other films like it after that, hence the excitement for Black Panther. Now, I think there were plenty of films like Coming to America.
The problem is I don't know how big
it's exposure.
I don't know how big that was when it came out. Though. I know obviously to us.
No, it's huge when it came out. Coming to America.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we can't.
Right, so that's a good point. And that was
but making comparisons with films 30 years ago, like we've come a long way.
Right, but her point is, what are we really expecting? If that happened then, it was a massive thing then. And nothing's really done. What's going to happen now?
And I didn't say nothing is definitely going to happen, but I have to.
The
be
only thing I would say in regards to that is that coming to America was like, you can say, I wouldn't say the first of its kind, but it was one of the first like all black casts. Do you know what I mean? So it would be difficult for to see a raft of black directors and whatnot coming in after that. But now in the age where we are, we have had black films, even though it's lower budget. So now this. It's more of a
the level. It's more of a level.
I personally think, and again, I'm going to come away from the actual movie in a minute because I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think it's massive because of the franchise that it's within. And the exposure that brings. It's not just being carried because it's a black cast. Yeah. Do you understand what I mean? It will be welcome and seen by people who may not have seen it
if it was just a black cast and a black.
You understand what I mean by itself.
Right.
But what I do want to ask as well is, are we, and I say we as the black community, getting too excited and not realising the fact that we are still actually being exploited? And the reason why I say that is because it's within the Marvel thing. Yes, it's an all black cast and that's great and fantastic. But the benefits financially of that are not going into black pockets as such. It's Marvel, isn't it?
Actors are getting paid, but Disney are the ones that are.
That's what I mean, because when I'm saying that, to expand on that.
But the reason why I'm saying that, is because I was watching an interview with I don't even know the lead actor's name, Chadwick Boseman, whatever his name is. And that was raised to him as well, and he was like, it's silly when people say that. Like, business is business. You're always gonna have a head of business. Disney gets paid from white films, from Indian films, from black films, if it's under their umbrella. So why is it when black people are doing it, we're exploited? we're not being exploited because
I said
those
the same
people.
thing.
Those
I'll
people
tell
are
you the
being
reason
paid.
why.
Also, one second. Also, Disney have now contributed £1 million to, oh God, what's the charity called? But it's a black-owned charity, yeah. And they it's in conjunction with the film. £1 million. So I can't remember the name. Black-owned charity, and so there are things being done. There are things happening as a result of this film. Disney are always going to get paid. They're the one who are financing these films. They're always going to get paid.
And I agree with Darren. I don't think it's exploitation. The reason why I say that here is because, like you said, it's just the business. Unfortunately, someone has to be at the head of it. And I think we had the same conversation surrounding the Nike advert. Are they exploiting people? They're not exploiting it. They're using what's working for them now and going with it. At the end of the day, it's not an exploitation. It's business. And we just, if I can find a way in the market to make money, I'm going to make money from that. At the end of the day,
Did you not see anything wrong with
the Nike advert? Nike advert, no.
I don't know. There was a lot of talk about how once again stereotypes of how black people are seen in London and how certain areas are represented. I think like they said something about something negative about Peckham, yeah. But I didn't personally see anything wrong with it. But I saw there was talk about the Nike advert.
I think the reason why I have to ask the question in regards to the whole exploitation thing is that I don't want us to get to a point where we pick and choose when we want to start using that word. Do you understand what I mean? It's almost like, well, it's that, so now that we're being exploited or something. Do you understand what I mean? It's like the way in which I just always think about consistency throughout. Yeah, so I wanted to pose a question. I don't think it is. Like I said, I really, in terms of my honest opinion, I think it's just a huge step forward, and I think that the steps that we're taking forward, that overshadows whatever that financial.
And the reason why I say it's not exploitation, because it's either we get exploited or we don't get the opportunity.
Yeah.
We
can't
have it both ways.
Yeah.
And the thing about it also as well, sorry to add on to that, people don't even know that in terms of Disney, like there's a couple of black people who like are heads of the company. Do you know what I mean? So it's
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
And it's only through watching this interview with Chadwick Boseman or whatever his name is that I found that out. And I was like, right. But that's what I'm saying. People just are so quick to spout, but we're being exploited because all the money's going to Disney anyway. Well,
it's because when they talk about those things and the lead face for it, the head,
exactly.
Yes, it is a white guy,
Exactly.
but when you look at where the money is going, it's split out.
Let me read out a couple of comments. Andrew said, movie makers will look at this formula and its success and will try to emulate it. That's the whole open doors. I like that. That's a very good one there. Right, couple more. Nina has said, it's not black films, it's the type of representation of black people within the films. I can't remember what point that she would have been going against in that regard. Maybe when you touch on the Nike advert or something, I'm not too sure.
But this is why this was an excellent film, because like it's been said, there was no real negative stereotype that you think, typical, like
even the bad guy was dropping knowledge, but
do you know what I mean? So
the typical things don't happen. So the black guy is not dying early. You know, it's not the first one.
But that's probably inevitable because it's all black
cast.
There's no one. There is one. There's a few.
There's at least two.
Oh, so there is. So it wasn't a silly question.
A couple.
All right, cool. Thank you. Just wanted to make sure. Thank you. Right, Andrew said, when we have our own studios, etc., that's when we'll keep the money in our community.
Right.
So again, that's a good point to touch on. Is that the next step, or are we hoping for too much too soon? Should we just kind of revel in this and just be happy?
That's not overnight success, but where it started was black people being lead actors. Then it was black people being directors. Eventually, we can hope that
Listen, man. There is a movement happening now, innit? Like, and I think it's well, for me, it's clear to see. There's a lot more camaraderie. Is that the word? Camaraderie between black people. I think you can't. For me, I would never say it's too much too soon. It's just about black people seeing that, you know what, we can strive and we can do this, and feeling confident to go ahead and do it. Do you know what I mean? Seeing that is an amazing thing to see. Like, a number one grossing film like Marvel. Come on, you don't get any bigger than that in terms of films.
Mainstream films.
Mainstream film, you don't. Do you know what I mean? So to see that there, to see Peter, to see whatever his name Daniel is, it's amazing, bro. It's amazing. I just think it only stands for a good thing for us. I think people can look at that and say, you know what, I can do that, and I'm going to do that. And it's a good thing.
I want to put a question out there to anyone else as well, the viewers who's watching. Was anyone disappointed by any element of the film? Because from the feeling that I've got from everyone, it's empowering, it's a great film, it's this, it's that. So I'm expecting these guys to be up for Oscars and all of them things there, or are we going too far?
But
there might be in terms of Ryan Coogler, in terms of visual, visual effects and all that. In terms of acting, no one for a Marvel film gets that stuff.
So the acting weren't levels.
It's just as good as any Marvel film.
Yeah, but it's not going to be exactly. Yeah. You don't go to a Marvel film
expecting great for acting.
No actor does a Marvel film expecting to get best actor and nothing like that.
Do you know what?
But the visuals were dope. Absolutely dope.
Why not?
I feel kind of weird.
Actually,
we're all agreeing. This is weird.
It is very weird. Let me read out a couple of comments. Yeah. Dion has said, if this film empowers black people to see past their limitations and go beyond the plan that degrades and demoralizes the black community. She kind of made that as a statement. I made it as like a question or something. If this film, I think it's because she started off with it. That's your fault. If this film empowers black people to see past their limitations and go beyond the plan that degrades and demoralizes the black community. I tried 3 times. It's definitely your fault, Dion, but I got it out there. W. Rouse, I hope I've said your name right. The night advert was a mockery. Another example of people willing to buffoon for money.
Elaborate.
We have to touch on that.
Yeah,
but the thing about it is, okay, I can see why you say that. I can see the premise behind that statement, but it represents London. Like it represents the youth culture in London.
I heard.
So I don't.
Maybe he's referring to a lot of people getting at Skepta.
For what?
Because he made a comment about he don't deal with brands and do all this kind of nonsense previously, and then was quite happy to come into that night.
That's the only thing
the only thing I would say to that is that's a lot. He'd already had a bloody night line before the advert come out. He's got his own trainer out there, isn't he? So
there's nothing about that advert that I could say you could be calling it.
Using
the term buffoonery.
I just don't understand.
Plus, although it was predominantly black, there are white children and whatever in the advert as well. I wouldn't say anyone could have that title buffoonery.
But it's like what Dee said once again. It's either it's black people on telly and you're getting to see black people on mainstream TV, or you don't. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I understand that thing of us owning our own companies and us creating for ourselves, of course, but that comes from within. I don't think you can knock people for
it's got to start somewhere as well. We've got to start somewhere. So getting on the TV without
you have to be seen.
It's got to be a beginning.
Okay. Dion's just come back and said no 2-part. No, Craig, I ran out of word space. It's in 2 parts. Listen, that's your technical issue. Right, Tanner said amazing movie in my opinion. Yeah, she's got the thumbs up on that one.
Big up yourself, Tanner.
What other point that I wanted to make was, will we ever get to a point where this will no longer be a discussion? Do you understand what I mean?
Not in my lifetime, in my opinion.
Good question.
Not in my lifetime. I agree.
You don't think so?
No.
What are you saying?
That is that's asking for pretty instant change.
I'm gonna say
I can't.
I personally think yes, and I'm gonna give you my reasons for that. I don't think right now, and I hate comparing. I think Dwayne done it earlier. Race to sexuality, yeah. But I don't think anyone would blink twice if an openly gay man, for example, was the next Superman or something, or Spider-Man. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. I don't think that they would blink twice. Yeah. And I think this, like I said, this film that I haven't seen, like is the start of something similar, because the way in which it's being received, the quality which I've been told about, and the way in which it's been received by the masses, it can become the norm.
The money.
I don't want it to be. The only thing I would say, I wouldn't want it to be false,
Can I say
where it's like a black cast just for the sake of it. But Black James Bond's the next one.
Right, so you saying that an openly gay guy being Superman, yeah? Nobody blink like, you put a black man in that role, it'd be a goddamn problem.
Sure, it would be.
For now.
Right, and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
No, I think for now, like I said, James Bond's the next step. Yeah.
They spoke about there being a Black James Bond, and they went nuts.
They went got shut the hell down. They're not having that. Bro.
Of course, and that was
prime.
before.
Yeah.
I'm not saying now that we've had that film.
That man didn't change that.
No, I'm not saying that now we've had that film that it's automatically they're going to be happy with a Black James Bond. But what I listen to Craig and what I think he's saying is that eventually we will get to a place where it won't be. There's always going to be.
Yeah, eventually I do agree. Eventually I do agree. This is not in my lifetime. With the James Bond thing, for example, I don't think there should be a Black James Bond.
Right.
Because the character is white. And it's all.
You don't
I personally feel that. Well,
you know that James Bond ain't just James Bond. He's an agent. It's a special agent, isn't it?
Yeah,
so
right.
It can be
what I'm saying is that James Bond is the agent. Yeah, it's just not a random agent. He is an agent.
Yeah, but
and it's always been a white agent. For me now, you can't just come in and just decide he's a black one.
But it was done with Annie. It was done with Annie. I know. Listen, the film was. I'll be real. Like I tried to watch it with my kids. The film's shit.
I thought it was good.
It was whack.
You cried.
Honestly, I thought it was whack. But it shows that it can be done, and
it's slightly different for me simply because it was a one-off movie. James Bond is a franchise of films, where the character has always been a white. For example, they made bare Black Panthers and decided he was a white guy. I would have an issue with that.
Yeah, but
that's different.
Why? Why is it different? What's the difference?
But but this is the thing that Craig is explaining to you. 007, it can be different.
It can be represented.
It can be different people.
Different.
All it is someone working up to that point where they're 007.
No, but that means he has to call something else.
Black Panther cannot.
He's
Black
still
Panther
James.
is always Black Panther.
James Bond is always James. Yeah? He's
What,
007 years.
I know Black James.
You're not getting it. They don't decide that James Bond is James Bond is a person.
Man will always be James.
Yeah? No. This is 007 as the agent, yeah, but the character is James Bond. Yeah, you don't like you graduate and now you're James Bond. It doesn't work like that. James Bond is James Bond.
Alright, listen, I think it's different. I can't see how Brad Pitt's gonna come on saying I'm T'Challa and all them things, and that's
Same difference.
It's not.
Black Panther is a king. Is a king in Africa.
Like, come on, it's just not the same. Let me read out some comments. I want to keep people involved. Right. Angie said it really is so very different, Craig. Superman may be gay. Not that Superman is gay, I'm just saying that the example I gave, but he's still white. Yeah? And I think that is right. And I will take some correction on that because I think what we are talking about is the race association to characters. Yeah. So I do get that rather than sexuality.
And a negative stereotype, because years ago, if you'd said 20 years ago that the main actor playing Superman is gay, there probably would have been outcry. Whereas now today, like,
yeah, can I ask that was the example? Yeah, go on. I'll bring out some more comments after, guys.
Right. So, would you be annoyed if one of your characters was just thrown out? It was a black character and all of a sudden it was white. Would it bother you?
It depends on the origin of that character.
Okay,
to be fair.
Shaft.
I knew he was gonna go with
What's
Shaft.
that?
They just made Shaft a white guy. Would you? I won't be cool with that. Nah. I don't think any of you would be cool with it either.
I'm putting on record. You make Shaft a white guy, we got problems still.
Right, exactly.
So
you can't just
and
characters
I'm going to tell you the reason why it's different. It's because the origin of the character is a black person.
A white man cannot play Shaft.
Why?
A black man can play James Bond.
Why? What? Explain to me. How are you making any sense?
Wait, listen,
I'm
struggling to hear.
It makes some sense of this.
Listen, yeah. Shaft's charisma and like his whole.
Oh, only black man can have charisma.
That for Shaft, yes. For Shaft, Shaft can only be played like a man.
You know what it is? I can't articulate myself, but I'm 100% with you, bro.
You making no sense.
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it can't be played. And it's
It starts with an afro.
Do you understand what I mean? It's those sort
Why
of
man can
things.
have average?
No. We're talking about someone who is a special agent, a CIA agent or whatever. That could be black or white.
Yeah, right. If it was just
Chinese,
007,
Asian,
yeah?
it could be anything.
If they decided 008 was black, then yeah.
One second.
But James is white.
Might sound like a silly
You're lying
question.
too much on
Hold on,
James.
go on.
Might sound like a silly question, but was there like a book before the films in regards to
James.
007?
Yeah, but he said so. And he was described as a white guy.
Okay, well then I have to agree with Dwayne then.
One more time, he was what?
Right. Jay has said, I wouldn't like a black James Bond. Why? And this is my thing. It's like I feel like
I would love to see a black James.
I don't want to see
I
it.
would like.
I don't want to see it.
You know what it is? It's
I'd
like,
rather we had our own thing, our own shit. I don't want to be James Bond.
yeah, because you're in that segregation business. I'm not really.
It's
with
not to do with
I
that.
just
You're
want all it is,
you're picking and
I want
choosing when it
equal
suits you.
opportunity. I just want
No,
equal
you're
opportunities,
picking and
man.
choosing when it suits you. You tell me Shaft can't be white, but James Bond can be black.
Shaft has an afro.
No, no, Reed. It doesn't matter if he's
Shaft
not
has an
African.
afro.
Yeah.
No, it's
No.
like, come on now. It's like when there was rumored that there's false rumors about Brad Pitt playing Bob Marley. It's not a true representation.
That's
of
different.
of the character. of
That's
the
completely
person.
different. He's fucking
No,
real,
man.
bro. Shaft is not real.
Shaft is real. Tell me that. Real.
Nah,
Right. Let me
I'm
read out a
not
few more. Let me read out a few more. You actually made a good point. It's hard to. I don't know. It's hard to accept that example, but you have made a good point. Right. When Angie said when it was being mooted that James Bond may be black, people were up in arms. Were black people up in arms or white people up in arms, or was just everyone? Because Dwayne would be cheering right next to everyone else. I don't want it.
I'm not cheering, man. I'd rather just do our own thing.
Right. Misha said, "No, Pan Man. James Bond is the name of the agent.
Yes.
Black, Chinese, it don't matter."
You can't just call anybody James Bond.
Yeah, I don't
Come on, mate. He's 007, James Bond. He's a person.
Call a lady mate. Jeez.
She's my mate.
Right. Jay said, but there are plenty of black versions of superheroes in the comics like Superman, Spider-Man, etc.
Right, so this is my point.
Simon.
Because this brought me back to what you're going to say, what you said. In regards to films, there are plenty of films where white people have played the roles of black people, like We Were Kings. No, not We Were Kings.
Yeah,
sorry.
that's an annoying me. I know what you're saying.
Right, exactly.
I don't agree with that.
That's what I'm saying. So
And they done it again recently with the oh shit. What's her name? The Egyptian man. What's her name?
You've not narrowed it down.
Darren knows what I'm talking
I
about.
just said the Egyptian.
No, not Cleopatra. The
Nefertiti.
yeah. And it's what? They just made her a whitehead. Like it's just a white way.
Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking about the film, but yeah, I was talking about
Have you not seen it?
Nefertiti.
yeah,
Yeah.
Queen Nefertiti. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Let me read out a couple more comments. Right, Dion has said, yeah, we're not letting this James Bond thing go. Yeah. James Bond is an alias. It's not an actual person.
Oh, right. Okay.
1 second. Oh, this is a Hey, Dion! Yeah. Shout out to Dion. Right. B005 and work himself up to 007 and then gets the name James Bond. That's why it could be played by anyone.
But,
See, I'm standing down.
See?
As an alias, I'm standing down.
yeah. All right, cool.
So,
Idris.
Black James Bond, yeah? You
If
in?
it's an alias,
Are you
I'm standing
in?
down.
Are you in?
If it's an alias.
Man like Idris.
Hey,
Right.
this is classic stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Going back down.
I know, this is crazy. Right. Andrew said, I agree. Create our own character. Leave James. No, don't say yes now, bro. You just came back.
No, I was accepting that if it's an
Right.
alias out there, but
Create our own character.
create your own
Leave
shit,
James
man.
Bond, even though he is a character who can be played by anyone. Right, so this is my point. If he can be played by anyone,
What's the problem?
what's the problem?
Have your own-
If the actor is the best
Listen.
best person for the role, he should get the role.
Listen, we've seen you can just make your own one. Jason Bourne came after James Bond and was successful. Just make a black version and be done with it. Why do we have to play what the white guys got? We can have our own one.
Alright, but it's like Marvel. You need a certain stamp in it. Now we got Luke Cage. Hey, look at Luke Cage.
I'm repping for Luke, bro. Are you
Luke
married?
Cage is-
Luke Cage.
But anyway, sorry.
Luke's good.
We're getting away from things. For me, going back to the original question, I think we will in our lifetime see a lot more black films. A lot more.
I wouldn't say we won't see any.
And it would be deemed normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the main
Do you know,
thing.
do you know why as well? Because you see in Africa, there's a huge like movement in regards to like talented actors, actresses, directors, producers. Do you know what I mean? All they need is that chance. All they need is that funding, and they can produce something like a
There's a reason why they're not getting that funding, though, bro.
yeah, but with films like this, the doors will open.
I hope you're right. I really do.
So what would you say to people who haven't seen Black Panther, like myself, black person, and would it differ from what you would say to a white person in terms of encouragement to go and see the film?
Yes, it would.
And
differ.
I say a white or any other race.
It would differ because I wouldn't say to a white person, all right, you should go and see it, you know, like it's just bare black people and it's just like I'm not gonna say that. I would though say to a black person and a white person, go and see it. It's a dope film. Yeah.
It would depend for me. So I wouldn't tell you anything different to I was telling Ben, for example.
Shout out to Ben. Dwayne's got 2 white friends, yeah. Bill and Ben. yeah.
Only time it would change is if I was talking to you and I was encouraging you to take your son.
Okay.
I think that would make me change the way for you to go through it because I want your son to see that as it's something for your son. But as a grown adult, I don't think I'd say anything different.
It doesn't need.
I don't need to say
need anything extra. Like Darren said, it's a good film. Especially if you like superhero films, then there's no reason why you shouldn't go and see it.
All right. So my last final thing, we're gonna have to try and wrap up soon as well, right? Is
I'm done.
why you say I'm gonna say something dumb? I'm not.
It's in your face. It's in your face.
Right. Obviously, I told you the other day the person came out and was like this, yeah, and I was like, yeah, cool. Like I was kind of like I knew what I was doing, yeah. So I was like, cool, wicked. So I was just thinking to myself, one love, yeah, cool. But if a white person or Chinese person comes up to you and says, hey. What is that, mocking it, or is that someone just getting into the film? As funny as the question is, it's a real question. And what's your reaction to that? And does it differ to what I did? Because I was like, yeah.
No, I'm not taking.
Let me start with Dwayne. So
I've got a problem.
Why have you got a problem?
Because I feel like you're mocking me, bro. I can't.
Why?
What? Because you're not black. Why are you doing
Yeah,
it?
but if Superman like this is what I'm saying.
No.
But
It's mocking.
If I go like,
No, that's because you ain't seen the film yet. That's why you're not getting it. You can't just do this. You
It's
just
not the same.
nah.
And
Why?
listen, yeah. If
Why?
I,
It's a film for everybody.
Listen, if I'm with my white brethren, yeah, and you go to him, yo, what's going on, brethren? Cool. But if you go to just, what's going on, Dave? What's going on, Riggs? No. Because the same way, if a white guy came and said, what's going on, Craig? What do you mean? What the fuck you
put that fist down. Don't you dare compare that shit to that. I'm not. I haven't seen it.
I've pulled up people that have come in and shook hands and they want to nudge me. I don't like that.
Yeah.
You're shaking everyone else's fucking hand. You better be fucking shaking my
Oh, snap. All right, cool. Now I was gonna say
Why?
like,
What's wrong with that? If he wants to nudge you,
but
Because,
just him.
no, you're just
him.
nudging me.
Just
Yeah.
because.
So
he's
there's a
black.
room for white guys. You shake everybody else's hand and you want to nudge me and you're a white man.
but
bro.
if it's a black person who did that, you'd be alright.
Say again?
If it's the same circumstances and it's a black person who did that, you'll be okay.
Because he's black.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
No.
Because
you wouldn't have a problem. You have a problem with a white guy coming to you. Bear in mind, he don't move like that.
Hold on.
Yeah? Listen, let me finish.
Now you're adding shit on.
No, because I'm telling you the circumstance, bro. He's a white guy, bro. He's in his own world, bro. He comes in, he shakes up hands, 'cause that's what he does. He sees you and he adapts to you and tries to nudge you, bro.
But listen. If I walked into a room and it's full of white guys, I would shake their hand.
I would shake their
Black
hands.
man, I'm nudging.
I wouldn't, but...
So therefore, you adapt to the person that you're greeting. No.
No, D. I can't agree.
I'm actually more with Dwayne. I would take issue.
I
would take issue.
Man's nudging me, bro.
The reason,
So you're not distinguished enough to get a handshake. So you're not distinguished enough to get a handshake.
But if a black man did that, so you wouldn't have a problem with not having.
Because he's doing it because he thinks you're his brother, bro.
Because I think the intentions are different.
But the thing about it, you don't know the intentions. You don't know.
So what possibly could the white man be doing?
Hold on, let me
Let
finish.
me finish.
You don't know the intentions of that white person. That white person could think, you know what? That's a black man. I've seen that black people spud each other, and that's a sign of respect. So let me be respectful and spud him. You don't know. You're just thinking, oh, he's being disrespectful.
The reason why I disagree,
I don't
and I think
expect
someone
it,
just
but
put this in the comments. If I'd say to you, yeah, well, go on, nudge me, bruv. Yeah, the boy is in it. I'm saying, well, go on. You're Chinese now, and I'm like, someone just said that in the comments.
But
It's a fucking piss
But what I'm
take.
saying, it's not a piss take. It's not. No, it's a piss take. No, it's not. Because listen, that's a sign of respect. That's a sign of
And shout out
respect.
to Size P. He pointed that out. He is greeting you in your language, like bowing to a Chinese person. But this is what I'm saying. The example is like we're all there in it.
Yeah.
So now your race is different. I'm spudding you or saying hello, what's going on, and I say, hey.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
Because in the Chinese person's culture, that is respect, isn't it? That's how is that?
So would you take that chance?
What?
You've got four guys in the room, two Asian guys, two white guys, two white guys and a black guy and a Chinese guy.
So are you handshake?
Are you gonna do that? Shake, nudge? Are you taking that chance?
Me personally, I'm not gonna lie and say I'll do that because that's not me.
Okay,
It's not. I wouldn't not do it because I think it's a piss date. I would just do it because I ain't bound to nobody. That's just me.
But it's not about you. It's about.
I'm giving you my answers to why I wouldn't do it.
But I'm saying, it's not about you bowing to anyone. It's about you showing.
Yeah, but I'm saying to you that's the only reason why I wouldn't. If it was,
if you was cool about
it, I think the reason why I think it's different, is because let's think about it. We're all at the table, we're all lads. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, white, black or Chinese, we're all lads. Why am I now literally pointing out the fact that I've got it conscious in my mind that I must greet you differently because of the colour of your skin, regardless of whether the greeting is offensive or not, I am still subconsciously segregating you from the rest. Not segregating. Sorry, I'm treating you differently than the others because of the colour of your skin.
You're treating them. You're treating them in accordance to his culture. If you wouldn't do that to a white guy, would you? Because a white guy doesn't do that. Of course,
but white guys and Chinese guys can all shake hands. It's not like we're doing something that is special to just one race. Nah, come on. Go back to the example. If he's shaking hands, you could go in the room and
nudge a black guy, and the black guy's thinking, right, man don't really do this.
Right, when people do it, I grab their fist with my hand. So I'm not on that.
Yeah, but bro,
there's certain guys that might feel a bit offish about you.
Listen,
nobody's saying no, bro. Listen, it's cool.
Nobody's doing anything that is abnormal in the culture that they're doing it to. So, for instance, you're the black guy amongst 5 white guys, and you get a spud. You get a spud. The reason why that person is spudding you is because you and your people spud. That's the reason why. So that's the reason why he's saying, all right, I can do that because it's cool to do that. The reason why he's doing that to the Chinese person is because that's what Chinese people do and it's respectful in their culture. So what's wrong with...
Go on. Suppose the Chinese guy's never been to China.
Listen.
Suppose they don't do that.
He is making a good point.
So you meet someone there and they're trying to show you respect. You're saying it's okay if a person is trying to show you respect, you would accept it. Yeah? So you meet a French guy and he goes to kiss you. Are you cool with that?
Bro, I'm not cool with it.
But he's showing you respect, so why not accept
it? So you're going to disrespect him and not receive the kiss?
I'm not cool with it. I'm not cool with it.
Are you taking a kiss?
But in his culture, I'm not taking a kiss. Guys, I'm not taking a kiss. In his culture, that might be respectful, yeah? It's my choice, in my opinion, whether I want to take that kiss. But I'm not seeing it necessarily as him being disrespectful. I just don't want him kissing me. Simple.
So you're not taking a kiss?
I said that, right?
Alright, cool. Let me just read out a couple comments. And we are going to wrap up because I said it a while ago. Talibur said, it's important for our young children to see images of positive role models on the big screen. We are superheroes too. Had to pay my money to support the film in cinema. Shit. Is it worse if I...
Don't even.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
But I really want to see it.
Alright, cool. What do you mean don't do that?
Nah, man. See, it's about the film. See the film properly.
Listen,
see the film properly.
At that point.
I admit, if you would pirate Marvel film before, then do what you got to do. Okay.
I go to the cinema.
I watched 4 the other day.
No, I can't understand that logic.
What? So, it ain't going in Black Man's pocket, so what difference does it make?
No, I get what Rakes is saying though. I will be going to the cinema. I want the full experience. Yeah. I want to take it all in. It's not really about the money to support the film.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm trying to get back.
For me, really, I just want to...
The full experience.
It is
supporting the film.
Because what is... By everyone going to the cinema, yes, the money isn't going to to black industry, but you're supporting a black cast. You're showing that we're supporting our film.
And the bigger the film is,
the
more of an imprint it makes.
It's fair point, but to me, that wasn't conscious in my mind. Do you understand what I mean? Maybe it should have been. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it should have been. Couple more comments before we go. Right, Charlene said, it's a powerful role model film for young black kids. It's like a crime for black people to identify with someone in a movie. I think that's, maybe she's talking about the perception from others. Right. Misha said, we ain't bootlegging, Craig. All right, babe. You got me, yeah?
There you
Definitely.
man. You're buying popcorn at the cinema too, bro.
No.
You're paying for it.
No, that whole
big Coke.
You know that. Listen, I don't want to go off track here, but you know that the popcorn and the drink, yeah, and I'm taking my kids as well. That's gonna cost more than the tickets to go and see it.
I go outside and I bring that in.
You got that away.
Anyway, let's not go there.
Let's
Let's not go
my
there.
rucksack.
Right. Angie said, if I was in Japan, then I would expect to show respect and greet with a bow. If she was in Japan, I think that's a key point.
Okay.
We're definitely talking about in Britain. And not every black person spuds.
Exactly.
Right. So it kind of it takes you apart.
But then
there's
black
no
person
bar.
shakes hands. There is a but.
What do you mean not every person shake hands? What do you mean?
Not every black
As
person
a
shakes
man,
hands.
yeah.
Not every black man shakes hands.
So what's he gonna do?
Spud.
I've never seen a black
But
man refuse to shake
stop,
a hand.
stop, sorry. Hold on, mate. So you go into an
We've
interview,
got to try and wrap it.
Stop.
and a man, what, you don't want to shake man's hand?
Listen.
What kind of shit?
I'm telling you this now because it's happened to me. My aunt, he's not her next door neighbour. This guy lives about 3 or 4 doors away. I'll never forget this day. Older man still, and he's actually pan, like he reads and everything. And I remember one time, we was talking.
You say he reads?
Yeah.
Damn, that sounded awful, bro. That sounds terrible, bro.
Reads and everything. That was a shot at you.
I'm sorry. Yeah, carry on.
Anyway, I went to shake his hand, bruv, and the man embarrassed me. Like the man said, no, don't shake hands. So I said, what? He said, it's disrespectful. Don't shake hands. Because apparently, the original form of shaking hands was something of disrespect. I've not looked into it, so I can't confirm.
I've heard something like that before.
But yeah.
But Darren, do you have a job?
Why is that even relevant?
I know where he's going. I know where he's going.
Because if he didn't have a job, then I can understand that.
I assume he's
But,
got a
but
job.
listen, out of curiosity, when he went to an interview or something like that, what's he going to do? Say to the man, I do not shake hands.
Yes.
I doubt it very much, bro.
Bruv, listen, just because something is not in your world doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
I doubt it very much.
I'm telling you, that happens.
Man said to the man, listen,
So
that's a very good interview. I don't shake hands.
You could possibly do that. You could possibly do that.
Alright, listen, let me read out the last comment and we're gonna wrap, yeah? Emma said, I came in late, but I think the universal greeting is a handshake. So in a mixed group of people, just shake hands.
Keep it
if I was in
consistent.
China and the expected greeting is a mood, then nod, whatever, to everyone regardless of race. So basically,
I agree with that.
Cool. Listen, I get that. All I'm saying is, if somebody came to me to spud me and I was in a group of white people in that room, I wouldn't necessarily think, oh, you're mocking me, you're taking the piss, or you're trying to disrespect me, and that's my standpoint.
I don't think I'll take it as disrespect, but I am intentional disrespect.
But you can't be
But I think there's some subconscious business going on. Right, Charlene said, anyone that tries to spud me gets a side eye, black or white. Yeah? Right.
Because no one should be
Oh,
spudding
that-
girls. No one should be spudding chicks anyway.
No, man. Spud the missus. My G.
He said, man.
Don't spud my girl. Don't spud my girl.
I'm spudding.
Alright, listen. That didn't even sound right, man. I said, I'm spudding your girl.
I'm spudding her. Trying all that.
Yeah, alright, cool. Listen, final thoughts. Dwayne.
I thought the film was very, very good. I feel that if you've got young children, it's something that you should definitely make sure that they see, because like Darren said earlier, it's something for them to aspire to be. I know they're not obviously going to be superheroes, but when they go to school, they can be that. I mean, there's something for them to be able to play. Like Darren, my son got his suit this week and he got a little figurine. He was so excited. He hasn't even seen it, but he's just excited. He's excited by it. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, that's me.
Yeah, kind of what we've said so far in the show. I like the film. It's positive. Characters are positive. The film's positive. I like the fact that so much money was put into a film. Yes, it's made a lot of money back, but the injection of money that was put into it in the first place was great, and hopefully we'll get to see more of that in the years to come.
Yeah, it's hard for me to but yeah, I think it's an amazing film. Yeah, it's an excellent film. Because maybe amazing was a bit strong. Excellent film. And I'm just proud, man. I came out of that cinema feeling proud. Do you know what I mean? Because, like I said before, no negative connotations, no negative stereotypes at all. It showed us in a real good light. We can be kings, we can be queens. there's young Ryan Coogers out there, there's young black actresses and actors out there who will see this and feel inspired to go out and do what they want to do in terms of the acting world. So, excellent film. If you haven't seen it, get to the cinema and see it, support it, and let's make it the biggest film that it can be.
You know what I did like? The way that they... Sorry, Craig.
I haven't seen it, don't worry.
I like the way the cultures, the
tribes.
The tribes.
Yeah.
I like what they done with the tribes.
Well,
okay,
you
cool.
just said that I ain't seen it.
I'm
You
not
about to
spoiling
go
it.
and start discussing it.
I'm not spoiling it. I'm saying I like what they did with it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed
You
it.
can see that there was research done.
Yeah. I really enjoyed that.
Alright, cool. Listen, I'm extremely excited to go and see the film. Babe, I've been sitting there, I've made a decision. We're gonna go the whole hog. Yeah, you're gonna get popcorn. Yeah, we're gonna have one each as well. Like,
You're gonna get one of those drinks. You know the blue red on the side. That's £5.51.
not that Fanta shit. Oh no.
Yeah.
We get the
And a hot dog.
drink.
And a hot dog.
Nah. In all seriousness, I'm super gassed about the film. I love the images that have been put out there. I love how excited my children are about going to see it. And it's just echoing what everyone else has said. You know, apart from the version where I ain't actually seen it yet, so I can't wait to go out and see it, and we will obviously feed back and all the rest of it. Guys, thank you again for your continuous support. We appreciate it. Comments, you guys literally keep us alive, so we appreciate that.
Definitely.
And yeah, we will be coming back to you, man. Catch us on Instagram. We're trying to put some Facebook things out there, just to get the interaction going. But yeah, that's about it. Anyone
If
else?
there's any topics or any subjects that you want us to discuss that you really think grown-ups men could tackle that, let us know. Don't be shy. You can email us. You can slide in the DMs. Riggs. Yeah, all social networking platforms.
Alright, cool. So on that note,
No, see, that's mockery, though. You're mocking.
I am mocking. I'm playing it. I ain't seen it. I don't know what it is.
man's to
Right. Darren's holding it strong.
Man, it's T'Challa, you get me? What are you laughing for? You don't know who T'Challa is, bro.
Bro, I've seen the fucking